Hello guys, in this video lecture I'll be discussing about the binary tree traversals. So there are three kinds of traversals that are discussed in this video: the in-order traversal, pre-order and post-order traversal. And towards the end we'll see how to construct a binary tree if the traversing results are given to us. So recap from the previous video lecture is we said that such a representation is of a node of a tree, and this can be represented by the linked list. The linked list structure will have a pointer towards the left child, a data portion, and the pointer towards the right child, which would look somewhat like this: that you have got the address of the left child here, the data portion of the node, and the address of the right child over here. When you want to access the left child, you will be calling node left. Please note that certain places instead of node I'll be using root. Why? Because that all depends on the variable that I have initialized. Here I am assuming that my variable name is node, and therefore I am representing with the help of node left. But in certain cases I may have used the variable name as root, and there I will be calling root pointer left. So this is the variable name. So here I am assuming it's node, right? So node left is representing the pointer towards the left child. The node right will be used to represent the right child, and when you want to print the data, for that node pointer data representation would be there. Now the first traversal is in order traversal. In order traversal, please remember L and R. It is of the order L and R. What does L and R mean? L means left child, N means the current node, and R means the right child. So when I am on left child, that means I have to traverse the left child from a given node. So if I am node at % right now, so left child means that you go to the minus. N means that you have to print the value of the node. So if I am at %, then you have to print the value of that particular node, and R means that you have to move to the right child. Okay, so if I follow this LNR rule, then and I have passed my root node of the tree, then when I'm at the root node, the first task is to move to the left child. So you move to the left child minus. When you are at this node, now since it is a fresh call to the node, so again this node will be performing LNR. So this calls the left child. This node again performs LNR, so it calls the left child. So when you are at the leftmost child, when it calls a left child, it's a null value. Since it is a null value, therefore nothing has to be performed. You have to be there on that node. So it has performed the task of L. The next task it is supposed to perform is N. N means printing the node. So it will print the value of A. After printing, it has to perform the task of R. R is also null value because there is no right child. So you go back to the calling node. And then from this node, since you have already done the task of L, next is N, that is you print the value of the node, that is plus, and then you move on to the right child. And this task has to be performed for all the nodes, and you will notice that from root you got traversed to the leftmost child, you printed the values, and then you go back, you go to the right child, then you backtrack, and then you go to the right left child, so on and so forth, and after some time you will reach the endpoint. So the order in which the nodes are visited in this particular case is called as in order. If I want to represent it using a program or algorithm, then the algorithm goes that a function by the name of in order has been defined, which takes a root node as the input, and it calls repetitively the node left. So when it is calling node left, suppose I have passed the root node over here. The root node over here is modulus operator. So at modulus operator, you go and call in order root node left. So node left represents minus sign, the left child of the modulus operator. Now when you have called this in order, the control goes back to the in order, and step 3 will not be performed until the value is returned from step number 2, right? When you have called node left, that is minus, now that minus will again repetitively call the in order function. Now this in order node left would be representing the plus node, so a plus node would be called. Then you go to the in order node left, so A would be called. When you are at A, node left is equals to null. So when you call a null value, this particular loop will get false and the value would be returned. So After null is when the first time you are returning the value. So when you are returning the value, you are coming back to A, right? Then the next task is print node data. So you are printing the value of A and then you are moving to the right child. So the result would be that A is printed. After A, after printing of A, it will call in order node right. So there is also no right child, so a null value would be passed. In case of null value, the values are simply returned. So the control is returned back to A. Now once this statement has been done, A doesn't have any more task left over, so it returns the control. Returns to what? Returns to the calling function. Which function called it? The plus operator over here, the function over here called A. So the control will go back to the plus node. From plus node, you have already achieved task 2 and you have got a return result, right? After this, you will perform task 3, that you print the value of plus, so plus would be printed. Now you will call right child. So for right child, again this unorder would be called. So you go to B. Now when you have got to B, you will again call the left function, which is null. Then you print the node B would be printed. Then you call the right child, there is no right child, so the value would be returned back to B. Then B would be returning back the value to plus. Now when you are at the plus, you will notice that at plus you have already done the left node calling, you have already printed plus, and you have already done the right node calling. So now the plus will return the value to minus. Now the job is here that the left has been completed. You will have to print the value, that is minus, and after minus you will be calling the right child. Right child, when you go to multiplication operator, you will call the left child. So the control comes to C. C calls null, returns the value, prints C, then backtrack to multiplication. From multiplication, it will call the right child. The right child will check for the left child, which is null, so it will print the value D, and then it will check the right child, which is null, so it will return the value back to our multiplication operator. Here you will observe that left has been traversed, the value has been printed, and the right has been traversed, so LNR is complete, so it returns back to minus. At minus you will see that the left call has been completed, node has been printed, and the right call has also been completed, so it will return back to the root. At root it will check that it has only done the left task as of now, so it will print the value, that is percent. After that it will make a call to right. When you are at this node, the first task you do is call left. When you are at this node, the first task you do is call left. From here you call left, which is null, so you print the value of E. After printing the value of E, you make a right call, which is null, so you go back to E. Here left node and right are achieved, so you go back to the calling node. At calling node, left has been done, so you print the value of the node, which is exponentiation operator, and then you call the right child. At right child, it will check for the left child, which is null, so it will return back to F. Then F would be printed, that is N. Then it makes a call to the right child, there is no right child, it returns back to F. Now F has made all the calls, so it will return back to the exponential operator. At this, left has been done, printing has been done, right has been called, so it returns back to the division operator. At division, the left has been done, so the next task is to print the node, so you print division, and after that you go to minus, you make a left call to null, then print G, then print minus H, and in this way all the nodes up till H have been traversed. After H makes a call to left, prints the value of H, makes a call to right, it returns back to minus. The minus has completed left node printing and right calling, so it goes back to division. Division has completed left node printing and right calling, so it goes back to the root. So at the end of the execution of this recursive call, the control goes back to the root and this sequence would be printed. Now since this sequence is printed, this sequence is called as in order traversal result. And you would notice that in order traversal result is exactly same as the infix notation. In infix notation we said that the operators come in between the operands. So when you have an expression tree and you are performing an in order traversal, you will get the infix notation, right? But in order traversal is not limited to the expression trees only. So in order traversal for other binary trees which are not expression trees, let's see how it will happen. Recursive call is same, and suppose the root node A has been called upon here in order A. From A, you make a call to left child B, then you make a call to D, and since D doesn't have any left or right child, so the value of D would be printed, and you come back to B. From B, you have completed L, then you do the N is printing of node, so B would be printed, and then you make a call to right child. At this node, you make a call to left child. At this node, you again make a call to left child. There is no left child, therefore the value of H would be printed. You make a call to right child, there is no right child, so you return back to E. E already has done the left, now it will be printed. So E would be printed. After E printing, you call the right child, you go to I, call left, print I, call right, then you go back to E. At E, you will notice that you have completed LNR. At B, you will notice that you have completed LNR. So you go back to A and you print the value of A. Then you make a call to right. From this node, you make a call to left. From this node again to left, so you print J. Then you return back to F. And from there, you go back to C. And after C, you call G. You print the value of G and then you return back to the root node. So this becomes your in order traversal result in case of any normal binary tree, which applies even for the binary trees which represent the digits or numbers. A over here is represented by a red color. The root element is somewhere in between. And if we know the root element, that A is the root element, then with whatever lies towards the left hand side of the root element is the nodes that are belonging to the left subtree, and whatever lies to the right of the root node belongs to the right subtree. So it is an important observation that you have to keep in mind, which will help you from constructing the binary trees from the traversal results. That if you have given the in order traversal and you know the root, then whatever lies to the left of the root will be a left subtree, whatever lies to the right of the root will be the right subtree. Okay. Now pre-order traversal. Now pre-order means that first you have to perform the task of printing of the node, then you make a call to the left, and then you make a call to the right child. So it is NLR. This is similar to the prefix notation where we used to write the operators first and then the operands, right? So this pre-order traversal of the expression tree should give me prefix notations. All right. The program over here, there is only one change, that step number 2 of the previous case has been made 3 over here, and the 3 step has made 1. So you print the value first, then you make a call to the left child, and once the value is returned, then you make a call to the right child. So the result over here would be, if root node modulus operator is passed, then you print it first. So you get the root, that is modulus operator. Then you make a call to the left child. At this node, the first task you need to perform is print. So you print minus, right, and make a call to the left child. Now at plus, the first task is to print. So you print it plus. Then you make a call to the left child A. So you print A. You make a call to the left child. There is no left child. So what will happen? From A, you make another call to the right child, and there is no child. So again at A. So at A, you have printed, you made a left call and the right call, so you return back to the calling function, that is plus. At plus, you have printed plus, so n is achieved. You have called left, that is achieved, so you called right. At right, the first task you do at B is that you print the value of B. Then you make a left and a right child call. Both are null, so you return back to B. From B, since NLR is completed, you go back to plus. At plus, NLR is completed, so you go back to minus. At minus, N is completed because you have printed the value. Left child has been traversed, so NL is completed. Now you call right child. When you go to this node, the first task you perform is that you print the node. Then you make a call to the left child. Left child, you print the left child. Then you make a call to left and right child, which is null. So you return back to C. From C, you return back to multiplication. From multiplication operator, you have already performed NL. You make a call to right child. You print the value of the right child. then left and right would be called, they are null, so it return back to D. From D return back to multiplication operator. Here NLR is completed, go back to the minus operator, NLR is completed, you go back to the root, that is our modulus operator. Here N and L is completed because you have printed the value and you have called the left child. After this you will make a call to the right child, print the value of the division, and from division you move to the left child, you print the value of exponentiation, then you move to the left child, print the value of E. From E you make a call to left and right child, which is null, so you go back to E. From E you go back to exponentiation, make a call to right child, print the value of F. Make a call to left and right child, which is null, so you go back to F. From F you go back to exponentiation. Here also NLR is completed because you have printed the value, called the left and the right child, so you go back to division. Here N and L is completed, so you make a call to right, print minus, and from minus you go to G and H respectively. Now you will observe that the operators are coming first and then the operands. So G minus H, which was there in the in order operator, is represented by minus GH, right? And this division is representing that whatever is lying after this will be operated upon by the division operator. If we calculate the prefix notation of the infix that we had seen in the previous case, we will observe that the prefix notation is exactly same as the pre-order traversal result. Fine. So when pre-order traversal is done on the expression tree, you get prefix notations. But this does not limit your pre-order traversals to the expression trees. Any binary tree could be traversed by this pre-order traversal. The algorithm is same. Here, if I'm looking for the pre-order traversal of this tree, you will see that the root has been passed as A. You print the value of A. From A you call the left child, you print the value of B. Then you call the left child, you print the value of T. Then you call left and right, which is null, so you go back to B. Call the right child, print the value. Go to the left child, print the value. Left and right, no value, so you go back to E. Call the right child, that is I. Then left and right, no nothing is there, so you go back to I, E, B and A. At A you have printed, so N is achieved, you have traversed the left side, so L is achieved, you call the right side. First task you do over here is print the value of the node, then you make a call to the left child. The first task you do over here is print the value of F and then make a call to left child. Then at here you print the value of J and make a call to left child. There is no left and right child, so you go back to J. From J you go back to F. F has made a call to N and L. Now it makes a call to right child, which is null, so the control will go back to the C. At C you call the right child G, print the value, make a call to left and right, return, and eventually you will reach the node root. Now this is your pre-order result for any general binary tree. Here you will observe that the root node is the first element. So the leftmost element of the pre-order traversal result will always be root node, and this is an important observation. Okay, so if I am given the pre-order traversal, the first element is the root node. Another important observation that you would like to make over here, that this is a subtree, and in this subtree we have got BDEHI. BDEHI. In BDEHI, you will see that B is coming at the first. So if I talk about this subtree, B is the root of this subtree, so then B is there. If you talk about this subtree, that is EHI, then you will see that E is here first. So whatever subtree you are looking at, that subtree, the root node would be the first value, or the leftmost value will be the root of that subtree. If I'm talking about the complete tree, then the first element represents the root of the tree. Alright. Now let's see the post-order traversals. In post-order traversal, you visit the left child first, so you explore all the left childs, then you explore the right child, and then you print. The algorithm of the post-order is this. The changes is that you call to the left child first, then you call to the right child, and then you print the node. So let's see how the result of post order looks like. So you go to the root, from root you call the left child, from minus you call the left child plus, then you call the left child A, At A you call the left child, there is no left child, so the control comes back to A. Still you are not printing anything. Then you make a call to the right child, there is no right subtree, so now when the control comes back, you print node value, which is A. Then you go back to plus. Now plus has made a left call. Now it has to make a right call, so it calls the right child B. Here it makes a call to left and right, both are null, so it prints the value of B. Then when you go back to plus, now you will be printing the value of plus, because you have already achieved L, left child, R, right child, and now you need to print the value of plus. So see, in A plus B, A B plus is the result. That means the operators are coming after the operands. Now this is similar to the postfix notation that we had seen in the previous lectures, right? So now at plus the job is complete, you go back to minus. Minus has achieved L, now it will call the right node. At this node you make a call to the left node. Here you make a call to left, then right, both are null, so you print the value of C. Then you go back to multiplication. Here you have completed L, you make a call to right. Here you make a call to left and right and print the value of D. Go back to multiplication. In multiplication, left and right is achieved, therefore you print the value of the node, which is multiplication. Then you go back to minus, and since left and right of the minus node is also achieved, now you print the value of minus. Then you go back to the root node. From node you make a call to the right, because after L you perform R. At this node you call left, at this node you call left, then here left and right both are null, you print the value of E. Then you go back, you call right, left and right are null, so you will print the value of F. And then when you go back, because you have called left and right, now you print the value of exponentiation. Now you go back to the division. From here you go to the right child, from right to left, print G, then go back to the right child, then print H, then you go back to the minus root. Here left and rights are achieved, you print the value of node, that is minus, and now you return back to the division. At division left and right are achieved, so you print division. After that you go to the root. Since left is completed, right is completed, now you print the value of the root node. So in post order, remember that the rightmost element is the root node. Now this is again an important observation. The expression that you have got over here is the postfix expression of the infix that we have seen 2 slides back, right? So infix was this, prefix is this, and postfix is this. So see the important result over here, that in infix whatever is there to the left hand side of the root node is on the left hand side, whatever is there on the right side of the root node is the content of the right subtree. How to identify the root node? So we need one more expression. If I am given the postfix expression, then the last element will be the root node. If I am given prefix expression, then the first node would be the root node. So infix traversal result along with any other result, whether it be postfix or prefix, makes job easy for me in order to construct a binary tree. Okay. The algorithm is same as the previous one. You make a call to the left, then right, and then print the data of the node. So when you pass the root node here, the first thing you do is you call the left child. From here you call the left child, and since there is no left and right child, you print the value of D. Then you go back to B. There is a right child, you go to the right child. From this node you go to the left child. There is no left and right child, so you print the value of H. Then you go back to E, you go to the right child. There is no left and right child to I, so you print the value of I. Then you go back to E. At E you have done left calling, you have done right calling, so the next job is printing of the data, so you print the value of E, right? Then you go back to B. B has done the left calling and the right calling, now you print the value of the node, that is B. Now you go back to A. At A you make a call to the right child. From right you make a call to left, then again left. There is no left and right child of J, so you print the value of J. Then you go back to F. There is no right child, so you print the value of F. Then you go back to C. There is a right child, you go to the right child. There is no left and right to G, so you print the value of G. Then you go back to C, print the value of C, and then you go back to A. So again you will see that the root node is at the end. So this is the result of the post order traversal in case of the given tree. So in post order traversal, you will see that the root element is always at the rightmost end. Now constructing a binary tree from the traversal results. So pre-order traversal, if suppose A, B, D, E, C, F is the order of pre-order traversal, and in order traversal it is D, B, E, A, F, C, G. Now these two results will help me in creating the binary tree. How? Because pre-order traversal we said that the root element is always at the leftmost side. So A is the root for sure. In order traversal, with whatever is there towards the left hand side of the A is the left subtree, and whatever is there towards the right hand side of A is the right subtree. So we can construct this tree that A is the root and BD is the left hand side and CFG are the right hand side. Now since D, B and E are the in order traversal result and they belong to the left subtree, we will see the order in which they occur in the pre-order traversal. So in pre-order traversal, B comes first, then D and then E. So I have written BDE. Now this gives me an insight that since it is a pre-order traversal of the subtree, therefore the leftmost element of this traversal result will tell me what is going to be the root of this subtree. B is going to be the root of this subtree. Similarly here, C is going to be the root of the subtree because the pre-order traversal of FCG, that is right subtree, is CFG, right? So C will be the node over here. So this gives me A, B and C as the result. Now when you are at B, you have to make a decision that at B, in order traversal towards the left is D, so D becomes the left child, and towards the right is E, so E becomes the right child. In CFG, you will see then when C becomes the node, towards the left is F, so F becomes the left child and G becomes the right child. So this way a binary tree could be constructed using the traversal results. If we have a post order traversal result and an in order traversal result, then I know that the last element or rightmost element of the post order traversal is the root. So A is the root. Whatever comes towards the left hand side is the left subtree. Whatever comes towards the right hand side is the right subtree by looking into the in order traversal. So A becomes the node. Now DBE is the left subtree. The order in which DBE occurs according to the post order traversal is D, E and B, right? So I have written DEB according to post order traversal. FCG, the order in which it occurs in the post order traversal is FGC. So FGC is written over here. Now since these are the post order traversal results, so they again give me an insight that the rightmost element here is going to be the node. So here B becomes the node and here C becomes the node. Now when B and C are the node, then the remaining elements are D and E. So look for the in order traversal result. If I have made B as the node, D comes to the left hand side and E comes to the right hand side. So D and D are joined respectively on the left and right hand sides of the node B. And if we look at C, then F comes towards the left hand side and G comes towards the right hand side. So F becomes the left child of C and G becomes the right child of C. So in this way, you can construct the binary tree from the traversal results of post order traversal and in order traversal. Let's see another example of the pre-order traversal and in-order traversal. Here, from the pre-order traversal, it is clear that F is going to be the root node. So I have made F as the root node. Look in the in-order traversal. So EACK comes to the left hand side and HDBG comes to the right hand side. Now EACK is in pre-order traversal is AEKC. So AEKC has been taken and HDBG is in the order DHGB. So DHGB is taken. From here, since it is the pre-order result, so the leftmost element is the node. So A and D becomes the node. Now when A and D becomes the node, you see that E is there towards the left hand side. Fine. So it's easy to identify the left child. But there is a problem with the right child because on the right there are two nodes. So C and K are kept. But when you are writing this as the right subtree of A, it should be in the order of pre-order traversal. So it should be written as K and C. Fine. At D, left child is clear, it is H. Right child is B and G. The order is GB. So we'll write GB. From here now it is clear that the leftmost element is going to be the node, so K becomes the leftmost element. Now when K is promoted to the node, C is going to be the left child or the right child is again decided by the in-order traversal. In-order traversal tells me that K's left child is C, and here when G is made the node, the B becomes the left child. So this is the final result. Thank you.